Also, Paige, so you got this book as a parent advocate for the Department of Education, and you apparently read it in 2 weeks. So can you just tell me what part really caught your interest?
Well, actually, it wasn't 2 weeks. It was really in 2 days.
For
Because
2
the
days.
first time that I got an opportunity to read it, because I always love to read on when I'm riding the subways and when I'm on buses. So when I'm on the trains and I was reading this, I could not put it down. I missed stops. I went from one stop to the last stop, and then it's like saying, "Oh well, I'll just take the bus and I'll just take the long route home," because the book was so great and it was just that interesting. The part that I liked the best was, I don't know, it's hard to say. But there were so many parts that I was...
So give us one part that really caught you.
Oh, gee. I guess it was the facts of life. Teaching your son about relationships as he grew to be a man. And while it was like understanding a certain part of the book, it was like saying, "Oh, that was graphic," and realizing that, with my son, I remember when he first told me, he came home at 10 years old, he said, "Mommy, why does, my penis, get hard and go up, when every time I'm around a little girl, I get excited, it gets excited," and I'm looking and I'm like, "Oh my God, he's asking me that question."
Right.
And it's like, and I didn't expect that question. And so then I told him the biological terms that, well, there's blood rushing through the urethra and then da. And so then I called his father up and said, "Eric, you got to get over here. You got to talk to Issa. You got to tell him about this because I don't know how to explain this to him." And his father comes over, and what does his father tell him? The same biological terms as I said. And I said, okay, this is not how I want him to quite learn. So then I rushed him over to my brother's house, which my brother was a little bit more detailed in teaching him with his sons about the facts of life. So I appreciated how, when your son looked and said, "I have no idea about sex, Dad." I know just about, I don't even know how to do this thing. And then sharing with the children that. With my daughters, I think I was able to be a little bit more descriptive with them, but with my son, I just totally panic. I'm still at a panic.
It's very interesting because what we say, my son says to young men as we go to schools, is that it's great, you may have great mothers, but it's always important to find a man in your life. It could be a father, if your father is there, or a father figure. It could be an uncle. It can be a counselor. It could be a teacher. It could be a coach. Because there are conversations that you're not going to have with women. And so you're talking about that right now. So we were at a school the other day, and one of the young men said that all he hears all day long is sex and basketball, sex and basketball. He says once in a while there's a conversation about something other than sex and basketball. So what are you hearing as you go out to schools? What are the kids talking about?
Well, gee, I don't get to really meet with children. I know that there are parents who get at a panic about talking with their children about other things besides those things that interest them. And I guess there is a fascination and curiosity. So what I do is I tell parents to begin to break it down to the children and teach them the healthy ways, in terms of what STDs look like.
Right.
Because that I believe in being graphic with. You need to see what it looks like so that, one, you will protect yourself. Teaching our children how to be protective, having open conversations with them, but on a grade level as they're able to understand. When I was a child, when I was younger, I remember my mom looking and saying, "Oh, I get a stomach ache." When I asked her how are babies born, she said, "I get a stomach ache and then I go to the bathroom and I just poop them out." And it's like, oh, okay. And then when I went to school in the first grade, and this was my integration with children of color, there was a little white boy in my class, Billy. Billy had red hair and freckles. This is the first time I'm looking at a white child. This is in like September of '63. So I'm like saying, oh my gosh, his mother left the poop all over him and didn't clean it up. 'Cause that's all I could think of. And I couldn't eat lunch or anything else that day. So then it was like going back home. And my mom was like saying, oh, she didn't change the story much, but then as I got older, through the curiosity, I began to check out books and fifth grade, I remember checking out the book, How Babies Are Born.